Yep, this is it. Shannon Sharpe is cooked. Shannon Sharpe is cooked. Listen, I hate to see a successful black man go down like this, but this is it. Another woman now accuses Shannon Sharpe of sexual assault in another defamation lawsuit. Make it so no other man would want me, is what this woman said. He made it so no other man would want me. We got to get into the details of this. This is not the 20-year-old white chick who has the $50 million lawsuit with Tony Busby against them. This is a complete other person. Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. We recently did a video on Shannon Sharpe where we talked about Shannon Sharpe stepping away from his $1 million gig at ESPN. This is right when football season is heating up. Look, the draft's going on right now. Shannon Sharpe should be in the middle of all this. Instead, he has had to take time off to deal with the accusations of rape and sexual abuse and physical abuse from this young lady who's claiming that she wants $50 million. On top of that, we talked about millions of dollars on the table as he was nearing a deal, $100 million+ deal for his Shay Shay's Club podcast, and was about to sign an extension for his time at ESPN, where, damn it, man, all that is off the table. I said in the last video, when you sign a multi-million-dollar deal with ESPN, you don't get to dictate when you come to work, when you take time off from work to deal with your issues. This is an issue of ESPN managers calling him into the office and saying, hey, come here, Shannon, why? Why now? Listen, you're going to have to take some time away, man, and we're going to make it look like you're the one that said you're taking some time away. But we all know ESPN is a huge corporate entity of which Shannon Sharpe is not the owner. So he can't just get up and say, I'm going to take some time off when you're locked in a contract, right? That is a managerial decision coming down from ESPN. They were trying to make things look good, trying to save face, hoping things would work out and Shannon Sharpe would be able to return to ESPN victorious. I mean, he drove their ratings through the roof. Woke up this morning, though, and damn, another woman. This kind of reminds me of the P. Diddy situation. Once Cassie made her accusations and then Cassie got paid, it was like the sharks smelt blood in the water, and out of nowhere came about 100 other lawsuits for Diddy. I don't know if it's 100. I'm just throwing a number out there, but we've seen and heard so many different accusations from different people claiming to be victims that you might as well say 100, right? Tony Busby alone had like a whole bunch of those lawsuits, or those persons who would like to file a lawsuit. So in the same vein, if you look at what's going on with Shannon Sharpe right now, it's kind of like that situation. I'm willing to bet at this point that there will be more women coming forward. They heard money. They're coming forward, just like in the Diddy case. Now, according to People, it says a woman is suing Shannon Sharpe for alleged defamation and also alleges in the complaint that the NFL Hall of Famer sexually assaulted her back in 2010. We're in 2025, 15 years ago. Michelle Evans has filed a suit against Shannon Sharpe. She did not go as a Jane Doe. I guess she wants to be known off rip from the beginning that, yes, it is me. So she files a suit against Shannon Sharpe saying that he sexually assaulted her back in 2010. Michelle Evans files a suit against Shannon Sharpe in New York in 2023, nearly 2 years before another woman who is suing under the name of Jane Doe, who we now know to be the OnlyFans girl, accused Shannon Sharpe of raping her in a lawsuit that was filed in Nevada earlier this week. Shannon Sharpe has strongly denied these allegations in the Nevada lawsuit, claiming that that relationship was completely consensual and called the lawsuit a shakedown. Just trying to get to some money, trying to destroy my reputation and destroy me if I don't pay the money up. Now, in a New York complaint that was obtained by People, Evans, who is representing herself, claims that she has been in a relationship with Shannon Sharpe for nearly a decade. And that relationship ended in 2010 when she says they got into an argument over his frivolous ways with women. He was cheating, his infidelity. Evans alleges that Shannon Sharpe then requested that the two had sex and that she refused after she broke it off. The defendant proceeded to forcefully subdue me, compelling me to my knees, and subsequently engaging in non-consensual oral penetration, the complaint alleges. Despite my protest, he persisted in this violation. Ah, man, listen. So here we are in a period in time, 2025, April 26th as it stands, where even your old exes can come back from 10 years ago to say me and him were in a relationship for 10 years and I ended it after 10 years when I found out he was cheating, and then he put me on my knees and forced me to suck his dick. And I'm suing 15 years after. I mean, wow. Wow. I tell men all the time, times have changed. And your old ex from back in the day might be still keeping eyes on you. And the minute you become successful, that old ex might just pop up and ruin your reputation by saying stuff like this. Evans further claims that the assault continued beyond the alleged forcible oral sex. Thereafter, she said Shannon's coercion escalated as he maneuvered me into the bed and achieved non-consensual vaginal penetration, all the while proclaiming that his intent to make it so that no other man would want me. He was beating the brakes off of it and saying, I'm going to make it so no other man going to want you. I'm going to make it so no other man's going to want you. Although Evans said she is not suing Shannon Sharpe for sexual assault, she claims that he threatened to ruin her reputation and that the ensuing media commentary was rife with defamatory commentary assailing my professional reputation. In other words, she's not suing him for money like the other girl is, but she wants to put this out there so the world knows that this happened and he raped her. In a statement that was on page 6, a representative for Shannon Sharpe denied Evans' allegations. Michelle Evans, they said, claims are ridiculous and completely without merit. The representative said the proceedings in Evans' civil case was still ongoing, though a judge did deny her request for an order of protection. So she tried to take out an order of protection against Shannon Sharpe, and the judge denied her request. Now, in order for a judge to deny a woman her request for protection, order of protection, the judge obviously found there was no reason for a woman like her to have a protection order against Shannon Sharpe. He probably was not in the city she was living in, not in the state she was living in, not involved with her, whatever the case may be. So in the wake of the lawsuit that was filed by Jane Doe, which is now the 20-year-old, announced that he was stepping away from his job at ESPN while reiterating his denial of these accusations. He said, "My statement is found here, and this is the truth. The relationship in question was 100% consensual. In a statement that was sent on Friday, April 25th, to People, Michelle Schuster, an attorney for Shannon Sharpe, wrote in part, quote unquote, "It should be of no surprise that when someone famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out of the woodworks to share their connection to that person in an attempt to profit from that alleged relationship. You know, in many cases, those stories or accusations are nothing more than old news, fanciful exaggerations, or something blatant misrepresentation of facts. They are shared on social media or they are fed to reporters with intentional factual omissions and no regard for the truth. This is obviously purposeful, designed to create a fabricated narrative. This is exactly what is happening to Shannon Sharpe, and the resurrection of the case involving Michelle Evans is a perfect example. Now, I must let my audience know that Shannon Sharpe, this Michelle Evans lady, she actually accused Shannon Sharpe 2 years ago before this 20-year-old filed her suit. So that had already been put to bed. So to see it resurrect in the newspapers today and them try to put the headline as if another woman making it making the people think that, oh damn, here comes another one. So the statement adds, when she could not find a lawyer to pursue her outrageous story, she filed a civil complaint on her own that is completely devoid of merit. The fact is that Shannon has had no contact with this person for many years. So apparently they were in a relationship, right? They broke it off. It's been many, many years since. She brought her story to a few attorneys, and apparently no attorney would touch it because they saw no merit in her story, and she decided to represent herself. That's very important to know. However, putting it out there now in the public as he is going through this $50 million lawsuit with this 20-year-old or 22-year-old now and Tony Busby, this can murky the waters. This can have, in at least in the court of public opinion, this can have people looking at him like, so you did this before. You've been accused of this before. So here you go again. I'm going to go look up who this person is. So later, the statement adds, the statement says, bottom line is Shannon has done nothing wrong and intends to fight back against these malicious lies, not with manufactured defenses or imaginary stories, but with documentary proof and real evidence. The statement also adds that while Shannon Sharpe is stepping away from ESPN, he does plan to return to the network for the 2025 football season. Well, we will see how that goes, okay? Because if things do not work out like how they're supposed to work out, and he does not come out of this unscathed and squeaky clean, ESPN will be terminating that contract. ESPN cannot continue to have Shannon Sharpe up there doing what he does, commentary or whatever, if this comes out the other way around and he is found liable in this suit. Because then here comes the Me Too people. And then here comes other women. And then here comes the protest. ESPN is keeping Shannon Sharpe, who got found guilty of. Never mind. The president who runs the United States of America right now, you can go look this up, Donald Trump. Donald Trump was found guilty in a civil court of rape, of sexual, I would say rape, but the judge did say he found him liable, right, for rape. Sexual misconduct towards a woman who took him to court and had a rape case against him. He won the criminal case. He got found guilty in the civil case, and he was ordered to pay that woman a substantial amount of money. He went on to become the president of the United States of America. But here's the thing. White men can do that and get away with it. Powerful white men too, like Donald Trump. He's a billionaire on the billionaires list. Not a Shannon Sharpe, not a black man. You can't be out here, be accused of rape by white women and walk around with your chest out, because they're going to tear you apart. Unless somehow you get out of this unscathed and it is proven that this person definitely tried to shake you down. Doesn't look good, right? I just hate the way the headline has put it. Another woman accuses Shannon Sharpe of sexual assault in a defamation lawsuit. Anybody who gets up today and reads this headline thinks, oh shit, another one. But when you get into the details, you realize this is an old case that the media has resurfaced it and are now putting it out as if it is happening now, alongside the case with the 22-year-old young lady, the OnlyFans young lady. But it's not. But the media will have you believe that it is. So what I see here is a smear campaign. And once they start to smear you, it's over, because they'll demonize your character first, and then they will crucify you. See, they cannot crucify you when you are good in the eyes of the people. They must first demonize you. And that's the only reason why they are running the story as if another one and another one, because that is the perception that they want to lay out about Shannon. He is a sexual deviant who is out here running through these white women, and he's being accused by multiple of them for the same thing, these charges. Man, listen, I know the solution is simple, but it's hard. Keep your dick in your pants could be one, but we're talking about something that requires great discipline, right? I was watching a video with Shannon Sharpe recently where, Shannon was talking to Ocho Cinco, and Shannon said something about pay like you weigh, or pay like you can afford to play. And he said, well, me, I want to play in my salary bracket. So come on with it. I want to play in my salary bracket. So come on with it. And when you think of how Monique warned Shannon that he needs to chill at his age, settle down, find himself somebody who can cook good for him, rub his back in his feet when he gets home, etc. Shannon wasn't into all that, right? He laughed it off. When you think of how Cat Williams sat there and said all the things he said, especially pertaining to being involved with white women, and why he does not do it, because they scare him, not because he is a racist, and because the public perception could damage everything you've worked for as a black man, and he ignored that too. And now we see Shannon going through what he's going through. So here we sit. The headlines are running that another woman accuses Shannon Sharpe of sex assault in defamation lawsuit. Doesn't look good at all. At all. Leave your comments in the comment section below. Tell me if you think that Shannon Sharpe is going to come out of this unscathed. Do you think that Shannon Sharpe is going to be back on ESPN sometime soon for the 2025 football season? Or do you think that this is the beginning of the end for Shannon Sharpe as far as corporate sponsorship goes? Now, let's not forget, he owns Shay Shay's podcast, which is his. But if no major entity wants to do business with you and sign you to a multi-million-dollar deal, then you just have Shay Shay's podcast. And it's not worth anything until you start making money with it, right? So even Shay Shay's podcast could end up being something that doesn't make a lot of money like it is now. So again, will Shannon Sharpe come up out of this unscathed? Or do you think that this is the beginning of the end for Shannon Sharpe? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'll catch you on the next video. It's SouFLoTV. Y'all be careful out there. Black men, especially. Practice some self-discipline. especially those who, we can't even say especially those who have a lot to lose, because you might not have a lot to lose today, and you might be conducting yourself recklessly today while you have not got a lot to lose, and the tides turn in your favor a few years from now. And then suddenly you've built up and amassed a certain amount of wealth, and then all these things come back to haunt you. So the lesson of the day is conduct yourselves with some discipline. And no, you're not white. And no, white people's privilege does not extend to you like the example I just gave you. Donald Trump himself was found guilty in a civil court, liable for sexual misconduct, rape of a woman who accused him of rape, and was ordered to pay her a large sum of money. He went on to become the president of the United States of America, even with that on his record, even with multiple felonies to his name. That's not the same world you live in, black man. One accusation can end everything you've worked for, especially when it's with a white woman. That's just the way things are. And the sooner we recognize that, the better we'll all be able to conduct ourselves accordingly. I'll catch y'all on the next video. I'm out. Peace.